What's up, everybody? We're back for another episode of Champagne Games.
Coach Kiki is here.
And Coach Beckyn is, and I'm Coach Beckyn. Sorry. I realized that my microphone is not hooked up, so this audio might be dog shit. I'm afraid if I hook it up now, then it'll like just not record
Uh,
me.
yeah.
But anyway, we're
Yeah.
back after another brief hiatus. This is like a
Yeah.
monthly thing now. It's fine.
Yeah. You know what? You guys get new episodes when we record them. We
Yes.
don't get paid for this
Nobody
shit.
puts us on a schedule,
Yeah, we
even
don't get paid.
ourselves.
If someone was paying us, obviously we would be on top of it, but we have other priorities.
Yeah, like the people that are paying us.
Yes, yes.
Okay, question of the week. Well, what is something that annoys you about people? This was my journal prompt yesterday.
Well, this could be a whole episode.
Literally.
Um, hmm.
My top one was making shit excuses.
I was gonna say something about ownership.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, not taking ownership. Also, when people are not self-aware. See, now we're just gonna snowball. Poor communication, everything. Um, Then my journal prompt today was, what is something about you that annoys, that you probably think annoys other people? I was like, oh, nothing.
I'm perfect. Just kidding.
I said maybe I complain a little bit too much.
Um, I'm very stubborn.
Oh, same.
And I know that about myself.
We own it. Um, Very stubborn and dominant. But I wouldn't be dominant. I'm reading this book called The Reclaimed Woman, and this is about how, like, we want about basically feminism being a scam, and how we really should want like a man that we feel safe to come into our feminine with. Um,
Yeah.
so I think once the right man comes along, then we will be okay not being the dominant.
I think that was both of our issues
Yeah.
in marriages, number one.
Yeah,
If
I
we
definitely
were
like.
married to bitch boys.
Apparently, when men ask you for advice or like ask you what you think about something, you're supposed to be like, I trust like whatever you want to do. And I'll be like, that's the stupidest shit. Like they just want to know that you believe in them and
Yeah.
trust them. Like, well, I didn't. I never have trusted a man. So sorry, I'm not gonna just submit to that.
No, that's the patriarchy.
But it's a very interesting book. So far, so good. Um, well, on taking ownership, I guess I can't really segue that amazingly, but we're going to talk about into what we're going to talk about today. But we wanted to talk about letting your coach drive you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I want I give this concept to my clients a lot, and it's like I'm the GPS. Obviously, I'm not the one driving your car and driving your decisions and habits that you're doing on the daily basis, but I'm guiding you to get to the destination that you want to be at. So I need you to trust me. I don't need you to be like, oh, well, I think I'm going to do this instead and r go left instead of right. When A, that's just like, okay, then why did I waste my time explaining X, Y, or Z, or the process of why we are going right, if you're just going to go left anyways and not listen to me.
Yeah, we have the direction. Like, if you are taking these turns, it's just going to take you longer to get to your destination.
Mhm.
Like we have the point A to point B, straight line. You have the curves.
Yes.
We're
And
the airplane, you're taking the roads.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, and it's so funny when I was driving to my first show of the season in Charlotte, like from me to Charlotte, it's the same interstate, 77. So I had the GPS on, and so but I knew how to get there. So I wasn't really paying attention. The GPS was trying to tell me to get off and go a different way. And I was like, fuck that. I'm staying on the 77 that I know I need to get there. Okay, well, you know what, Kiki? It was because there was like a hour and a half slowdown.
Oh no.
That's why the GPS was literally telling me to go a different way. And I didn't listen. And what was I doing? Sitting in traffic for an hour and a half.
Good thing that we're driving alone.
But that's the thing, like, okay, so we can get you to your destination at the most efficient route possible if you listen, ask appropriate questions, instead of you kind of listening to what we're saying, but then decide to do something completely different, or I'm gonna do this instead, or you know what, you told me to do 45 minutes of cardio. You know what? I'm gonna do 75, and then you burn yourself to the ground.
Yes, this is another really great analogy. Um, it's like it's also with you trying to take shortcuts or cut corners or do the cheaper route. Because when Kiki and Beckyn were driving to a show one time through the fucking hills of West Virginia, I accidentally had no, like, don't take me on toll roads on my GPS. Because, saving money, right? I mean, it was an accident, but let's go with it for the analogy. We spent way too much time in these back hills of West Virginia, which A is terrifying. Like you might get murdered if you're trying to
And
do
there's like no gas stations.
no gas station. Something fell off of like this bridge that we were driving under and hit my roof of my car. I mean, nothing was damaged, but it was terrifying. And like it's just dangerous.
Yeah.
So don't cut corners or try to do the cheap way either. Like having the most efficient map is so freaking worth it. And yes, it does. It's hard to trust the process because it might seem a little bit backwards sometimes. Like you can't have one thing without the other. Sometimes you have to build your calories up before you can do a cut. But we have done that. We have driven this road many times.
Yeah, yeah. And we've worked with a vast major or variety of people.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're just telling you, oh, well, this is what worked for me, so this is what I'm having you do. It's like
Mhm.
we've driven different roads, we've worked with a lot of different types of people, so we know what's going to be the best for you, this particular person.
Mhm. Um, and also like keep your eyes on the road. Like keep the main thing the main thing. If I tell you to do one thing and just like it's like the simplest thing because we're just starting and it's protein and then you start asking me about what supplements to take, that's also wasting your time and costing you money. Like main thing. If you can't figure that out, like you have to finish one course before starting another. It's like you got to pass this grade before moving on to the next grade. Stop thinking about like shit that you've heard on the internet. Stop asking questions about stupid shit you've heard on. I mean, like you can ask questions about it, but you gotta believe my answers.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And it's
gotta trust me.
Yeah, and will people on the internet will be just like, oh yeah, this is what worked for me, and they don't know anything else about like any other type of way. And that's why we are so in depth with like our initial questionnaires and with our weekly check-ins, because it's not a cookie cutter program. I'm not
No.
just giving you the same roadmap as like Erica versus Jamie. Like they're completely different people. They
Hmm.
need completely different roadmaps. So just because your best friend over here did this and it worked for them, cool. They may not have had, you know, issues with like eating disorders in the past,
Right.
or they they may have been a college athlete and have different amount of muscle tissue
Mhm.
or different genetics or anything like this. So it's like you really just need to follow your roadmap, the GPS that we are putting you through, like just follow it. And I know it, like you said, it is uncomfortable to trust the process because you're taking, like you're being vulnerable,
Yeah.
and you're going to be a little bit uncomfortable, whether you're going into a fat loss phase or into a building phase. Like if you've never been in a fat loss phase and you've never tried to diet, dude, being in a cut is uncomfortable because you are going to be hungry.
Hmm.
In the same manner, if always been 100 pounds, 110 pounds,
Building is going to be
building is
very
going
difficult.
to be difficult. And it's going to be uncomfortable, but you have to trust like your guide and your coach. I mean, when I started working with Ben and he pushed me up to 138 pounds, I've never been 138 pounds in my entire life. It was so uncomfortable. Did I look bad? No, but it was such a weird place to be in because I've never been there before. And he just continued to tell me, like, trust the process. And, he was working with me on, what, like, we're eating for performance. We have to build this muscle. You're not gaining fat. Like, it was just really good reassurance. And, we had great outcomes that for my first season with him. And
Hmm.
again, same thing this season. I'm just putting the trust in him because I hired him for a reason, and that's it.
I know. I was thinking that the other day, like, okay, God forbid that I hold my clients to a standard for something that they hired me to help them with. Like, that's what we're here for. And we're also just like we're not trying to be hard on you. Like we're doing our jobs. And not that we're hard on people, but I will always like call you out on bullshit and be like, "Okay, hey, like let's reel it back here. Like we you gained." I'm also trying to like convince people that honestly gaining 2 pounds on the scale is not that big of a deal. Like even 4 pounds. Like your weight fluctuates so much, it's not uncommon to see that. But like when that happens, we don't need to veer off the road and like, oh, adjust. Like, okay, you gotta give it some time. Or like 1 week in a cut, oh, my weight's the same. Been there, like we're fine. Keep driving.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So just get in the driver's seat, put us in the passenger seat, and buckle the fuck up.
yeah.
Shut up and let us sleep.
Yes. And it's like you've I don't even know. There's just so many things that like that we can repeat and say the same thing a different way, but it is true. You just need to listen. And obviously you don't ask your GPS questions, but like, ask us questions about why we're doing it.
Yeah.
If I welcome questions that are smart and educated. Like if you want to educate yourself, don't ask me stupid questions.
That was
Um,
one of my annoying things, what annoys you about people. When you're asking like very Googleable or chat GPT-able questions.
yeah. And just, if you do want to go left instead of right, like, you know, talk talk to us
Right.
and we can explain why we are going right and why we are doing this. Instead of you being like, well, it's like a simple example is like, okay, you know what? Maybe let's take out protein powder for a couple weeks or Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, anything that could be potentially be inflammatory. Let's just take it out for a couple weeks. Does that mean it's going to be gone forever? No, no. Let's just try it, see what happens. It may be a little bit uncomfortable because you can't have
Your favorite treat,
yeah.
creamy.
Let's see what happens. And then if you do feel better, okay, cool. That was the issue. And just
Right.
like,
And then we'll deal with you not being able to have that. But
yeah.
like you also have to be willing to try those things. Like, don't be so stubborn. You know, it there are things that you're going to have to change about your life sometimes if you want to see the changes that you say you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm working with a newer client, and um on his plan it's like pretty simple stuff, and it's like, oh, can I add this in, or can I add this in? Can I add this in? Even like on the third day, and it's like, listen, you may have done this in the past, and you may have every weekend just binged and went out to eat and did whatever the fuck you want, or whatever it may be. Like, let's just try this first and see how it goes. And then when we're at a place where both mentally and physically, we can add in a refeed, let's do it. But just because it's Saturday doesn't mean like, oh, now I'm going to get this burger and fries because this is what I've always done. It's like, nope, nope, let's just stick with this plan for right now and trust that we are going to get you there
Hmm.
in an efficient manner. And dude, you're down, let me see, like 12 pounds already.
Shit.
Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So clearly it's working. Do we have to be like this forever? No, but we're getting your body ready and like machine like, so then we can
Mhm.
slowly add things in.
Right. I was listening to Mind Pump this morning, and I can't even remember what the topic was, but it was basically they brought up people getting like, okay, what to do when you get bored with your what you're doing, and they're like, well, it really depends how long you've been doing it. Like, if you've been doing the same thing for 5 years and you decide that you want to switch your goal, like you want to try a different form of working out, like that's what you should do. Like, switch your goals, basically. If you've been doing it for 2 weeks, like you have some discipline issues that you need to do. And I think that should be said more. Like,
Yeah,
you do need to be disciplined in order to make this work. It's not motivation, it's the discipline, which is a
yeah,
whole nother topic, but
yeah,
on the you got to be willing to try things for more than 5 seconds.
yeah, yeah.
Anything else?
I think that's pretty much just cut and dry,
That's it.
you think.
Get in the car, stay in your lane. I love the driving analogy. Made my day.
Yeah. Let us be your GPS. GPS, Coach Kiki is here.
You can find GPS Coach Kiki on Instagram at,
Kickers Laugh, IFBB Pro.
and you can find me at Beckyn_IFBB Pro. Give us a 5-star rating and review. Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's any topics you want us to cover the next time you see us, whenever that may be. And we are
On
out.
your toes.
What'd you say?
We're gonna keep you on your toes. You never
Yeah,
surprise. We have an episode.
we're back. Everyone was waiting for us. Cheers.
All right. Cheers.
What's up, guys? Coach Kiki here. I just wanted to thank you for listening to this episode of Champagne Gains. If you loved this episode, please make sure you do all of the things like, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating and review, and share with your champagne bestie. Champagne Gains is also brought to you by Coach Kiki LFG Gym Gear. Unlock the full power of your workouts with Coach Kiki's Let's Fucking Grow hip bands, long resistance bands, cable ankle straps, and hip thrust pads. For all of your sprinkle booty gains, check out CoachKikiLFG.com. Thanks, guys. Cheers.